Hi, everyone, and welcome to another intriguing episode of
The Dungeon Crashers.
I'm Guy.
And I'm Zapil. And before we get started, remember to hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to turn on that bell so you won't miss any of our great D&D content. Today's build is a request from Project Cancelled, who wants to see a Paladin Assassin build. This is interesting for a few reasons. Obviously, Paladin Assassin seems like complete opposites that don't belong together, so making it into a compelling character that makes sense is a fun challenge. Also, we recently did another assassin build, Black Fur, which is a barbarian assassin. I'll put the link up in the corner. And in that video, we used assassin in a way that will most likely be used in your typical D&D game. A character that is really good at getting sneak attacks and can deal a lot of damage if it gets surprised. With this character, we're going to look into the other aspect of Assassin that doesn't come up a lot in campaigns. Their ability to infiltrate, assume false identities, and getting close to their victim. This character will be perfectly good even in basic dungeon crawl, but will only really shine in the right kind of setting. It would be perfect in a solo campaign and would also work well in a political type campaign where the party is a party of rebels trying to overthrow an evil ruler, or maybe an Ocean's 11 type game where they run a series of cons, scams, and heists in addition to assassination in order to bring down the enemy. We've made a few other characters that would work well alongside this one, like the Death Dealer, the Star of the Show, Mission Impossible, and even the Luck of the Irish videos. If your group is interested in running this type of game, maybe these will give you some inspiration.
For this build, I really want to focus on the infiltration abilities. And for that, I want to use the Changeling race. We've used this race before, once before in the builds Appeal mentioned, Star of the Show. However, that was the Eberron version. The version in Mordenkainen's Monsters of the Multiverse has made several changes, generally for the better. For starters, they are now Fae creatures, which will give them immunity to things like Charm Person, but make them vulnerable to things like protection from evil and good. Another difference is your size is medium or small, your choice, instead of just medium as it was before. This doesn't really matter though, because another change is that they can now change their size freely between medium and small when they shape change. The shape change ability is one of the reasons we're taking this race. In our natural form, we're pale, nondescript, and almost featureless, but we are seldom in our natural form, even among our own kind. We can assume any shape that is medium or small that is basically humanoid. We can choose our race, although this doesn't change our racial abilities. We can choose our hair, eye, and skin color, and our size as long as it is either medium or small. We can even mimic a specific person if we've seen them. Your clothing and equipment does not change, so you have to provide appropriate gear, especially if you're changing size. Some forms you refer to as masks and are just used for convenience, but many will have histories, personalities, and traits all of their own, and when you adopt this persona, they are as real to you as any other. You may have a favorite persona, such as a human might have a favorite pair of boots that you assume when you're comfortable, but it isn't any more real to you as any other. This form might be the form that your fellow adventurers know you as, or it might be one that you keep private. Whatever form you take with your party, they will likely perceive that to be the real you, unless they know a lot about changelings. You will want to read the rules about shape-changing before playing this character.
Changelings get 3+1 ability boost, and we can't put more than one on the same ability. Formerly, they got a +2 on Charisma and a +1 on an ability of their choice. This would work just as well for us as we want Charisma. Using the point buy, we'll be taking 15 on Strength. We put 13 on Dexterity, using a +1 to make it 14. We will be using medium armor, at least for our Adventurer persona, and we want a good stealth and picking lock checks. We want a 12 on Constitution. We would actually like a lot more, and we will eventually get, but this is the best we can do for now. We're putting an 8 on Intelligence. This isn't good at all for this character, but we need a dump stat, and as is often the case, Paladin's Intelligence is the best choice. We're putting a 10 on Wisdom, which could also be better, but we only really need it for Insight, and we will want to use Expertise to improve that. And lastly, we'll be putting 14 on Charisma, and when we use the +2 from our +1 bonuses to make it 16. Changelings gets 2 skills among Deception, Insight, Persuasion, Performance, and Intimidation. We are going to be taking Persuasion and Insight. For background, we'll be using the Spy background, which is a variant of the Criminal background. It gives us Stealth and Deception as skills and Thieves' Tool proficiency. Same skills as Criminal, but we use them for different purposes. We'll be focusing on Infiltration as a tool to defeat our enemies, and learning their weaknesses is a part of that. The Spy feature, if you have a contact in an espionage organization who acts as a liaison to the network of other spies. You know how to get messages to your contact even over long distances. We are starting at first level with Paladin. We are not an assassin for hire. We are a being with a mission to destroy evil regardless of the means we use. We get 2 skills from the Paladin list, and we want Intimidation and Athletics. We get Divine Sense, allowing us to detect the presence of celestials, fiends, and undead. We also get Lay on Hands, giving us a pool of hit points that we can use to heal ourselves and others, and we can also use these to cure disease or poison. As we often work alone, having a little healing is very useful. At second level, we continue with Paladin, getting a fighting style, and we want Dueling. In our Adventurer persona, we'll be using a longsword and shield, and in other guises, we will use whatever is appropriate. Dueling gives us a lot of versatility in our weapon choice. We also get spellcasting. We get 2 first-level spell slots and can prepare a number of spells from a Paladin list equal to half our level plus our Charisma modifier. Normally, we recommend spells to prepare, but this character will likely prepare whatever best suits the current persona. One to keep in mind, though, is Divine Favor, adding a d4 radiant damage to all of our attacks, giving us a nice improvement to damage. Another great improvement to damage is Divine Smite. Instead of casting spells, we can expend a spell slot when we hit an opponent with a weapon, dealing an additional d8 of radiant damage and another d8 per level of spell slot we expend. We get an additional d8 if the target is fiend or undead.
Yep, but sticking with Paladin at level 3, we get Divine Health, making us immune to disease. More importantly, we get to swear an oath, and we want the Oath of Vengeance. We want to avenge wrongdoing, and we want to do so passionately. The enemy we wish to wreak vengeance on is not a single foe that we can ride up and defeat in fair combat, rather an organization such as a government, church, or thieves' guild, perhaps a combination. We need to work our way up, striking at underlings, weakening their power base, causing them to fear their mysterious enemy before we finally corner the leader in his lair and reveal ourselves to be the one who brought him down before taking his life. We gain oath spells at this level and at certain others. These spells are always prepared and don't count against the number we can prepare. We get the spells Bane and Hunter's Mark, and both are incredibly useful. Bane is a great way to weaken a foe and make them an easy target, but it does allow a save. Hunter's Mark is a staple for rangers and works just as well for us. It allows us to mark a target, and all of our attacks against the target do a d6 extra damage. It also aids us in tracking the target. We also get 2 channel divinity options, and we can use one of these options each long rest, or each rest. The first is Abjure Enemy. This causes a creature to make a wisdom save, and if it fails, it is frightened of us for 1 minute or until it takes damage. If it succeeds, its movement is halved for the same time. This is good to keep an enemy from running away or to pin down a bodyguard while we take out our real target. The fact that taking damage ends the effect is a real drawback, however. The other is Vow of Enmity. We swear the vow against one target within 10 feet, and for 1 minute gain advantage on all attacks against it. This is a powerful effect and will be absolutely amazing when we get Sneak Attack. We also get a 3rd first level spell slot. At 4th level, we take 4th level Paladin, getting an ability boost or feat, and we're taking Tavern Brawler. This gives us a +1 to Strength or Constitution, and we will boost the Strength to 16. It also gives us proficiency with improvised weapons and unarmed strikes that deal a d4 damage. This is very useful because we may find ourselves using a persona that doesn't carry a weapon, a chambermaid for example, and we may have to beat our target to death with our fists or some nearby object. We can smite with improvised weapons, so if we wish, we can administer divine justice by bashing him in the head with his chamber pot. By raw, we can't smite with an unarmed strike, but talk to your DM. This rule seems to be more about flavor than game balance, and I allow it, if the person is proficient. It also allows us to make a bonus action grapple when we strike an enemy, with an improvised weapon or unarmed attack. We have 16 strength and can take the form of a 6-year-old beggar girl. Imagine the terror of your victim when a little girl wrestles him to the ground and begins stabbing him to death with a sharp stick. At 5th level, we take 1 more level of Paladin, getting extra attack, allowing us to make 2 attacks instead of 1 when we take the attack action. We get a 4th first level spell slot and 2 second level. Our oath spells at this level are Hold Person and Misty Step. Hold Person paralyzes an enemy, and attacks against a paralyzed foe are always critical hits, so this can do some amazing damage. Misty Step is a bonus action teleport, which can allow us to easily catch a fleeing enemy, get past obstacles, or even teleport past guards to get to our target.
At 6th level, it's time to start taking rogue levels. We have been doing quite a bit of stealthy work so far, and we've gotten quite good at it. At 1st level rogue, we get 1 skill from the rogue list, and we want perception. We have gone without it for too long, and it's time to take it now. We also get expertise in 2 skills. We want deception to help us perfect our personas, and stealth to help us better sneak into whatever our target may be hiding out in. In our adventurer persona, we should be wearing breastplate, giving us good protection without compromising stealth. We also get sneak attack, letting us do a d6 extra damage on a target when using a finesse weapon, and if we have advantage or any ally within 5 feet of it. Our Vow of Enmity gives us advantage on all of our attacks against the target of our vow. We can only deal sneak attack damage once per turn, however. We can deal it on other people's turn if we get it at the chance, such as an attack of opportunity. We can't sneak attack with unarmed strikes, but as with Smite, ask your DM. We haven't had someone in our game who wanted to do this yet, but we would totally allow it if the persona was proficient with it. Improvised weapons are only finesse weapons if the DM says so. You probably won't be able to sneak attack with a bar stool, but if need be, you can kill 6 guys in the bar with a pencil. If you're, it's probably okay. We also get proficiency with thieves' tools, but we already have it. You might ask your DM if you can take another tool instead, but if not, that's okay. We also learn to speak Thieves' Cant, which is a language known only to rogues. We have spent enough time around shady characters that we've picked it up. At 7th level, we get Cunning Action, allowing us to dash, disengage, and hide as a bonus action. This gives us excellent mobility in battle, and with expertise in stealth, running and hiding is a really good option. At 8th level, we get 3rd level of Rogue. We get our Roguish archetype, and we'll be taking Assassin. We get proficiency with Disguise, Kits, and Poisoner supplies. Poison might be a stretch for our honor, but any tool can be justified if the fight is against villainy. Disguise might seem redundant with our shape change, but we could use it to copying things like uniforms or priestly vestments. We also get Assassinate, giving us advantage against an enemy that hasn't acted in initiative yet, and any attacks against a surprise enemy is automatic criticals. Our sneak attack dice improves to 2d6 here as well. So if Baron Von Bad Guy, his new mistress, stabs him with a dagger in his sleep, it would do 2 critical sneak attack smites, dealing 4d4 plus 4d6 plus 6d8 damage, plus 6 for strength. So 57 damage on average, or 108 max possible, and, more with poison.
At 9th level, we take 4th level Rogue, getting an ability booster feat. And we need a lot of things, but our Constitution really needs to be higher, so we're going to raise it to 14. At 10th level, 5th level Rogue, we get Uncanny Dodge, allowing us to use our reaction to take half damage from attack against us. This will really improve our endurance if we can't end a fight quickly. Our Sneak Attack improves to 3d6 here as well. At 11th level, we take 6th level Rogue. We get Expertise and 2 more skills, and we want Persuasion to better help our infiltration and manipulation. And we also want Insight. As we are lying to people a lot, it's good to know if they are believing us, and even better to know if they are also lying to us. Mm-hmm. At 12th level, we take 7th level Rogue, getting Evasion, allowing us to take no damage from attacks that we make a Dexterity save for half damage against, and only half if we fail. This will be very useful if our prey happens to be a spellcaster. Our Sneak Attack also improves to 4d6. At 13th level, we take 8th level Rogue, getting another ability boost, and we're going to make our Strength 18 to improve our chance to hit and deal a little extra damage. This will also help with athletics checks such as shoving and grappling. At 14th level, we take 9th level Rogue. Our Sneak Attack increases to 5d6, allowing for some powerful smiting sneak attacks. We also get a feature from Assassin, which is Infiltration Expertise. It allows us to spend 7 days and 25 gold pieces to establish a false identity, complete with papers, history, profession, and affiliation, allowing you to get deep inside your enemy's operation. As a changeling, this isn't even a chore for us. To us, creating new personas and living new lives is recreation as much as it is useful. You are most truly yourself when you are being someone else. And at 15th level, we take 10th level Rogue, getting another ability booster feat, and we want to increase our Charisma to 18 for better deception and persuasion. This will also improve our spell attack and save DC.
Yeah. At 16th level, we're going back to Paladin for a while, taking 6th level, getting Aura of Protection, allowing us and any allies within 10 feet to add our Charisma modifier to all saving throws. At 17th level, we're taking 7th level of Paladin. From Oath of Vengeance, we get Relentless Avenger. When we hit an enemy with an attack of opportunity, we can move up to half our speed immediately after the attack without provoking attacks of opportunity ourselves, allowing us to chase down cowards who are trying to flee from our righteous wrath. At 18th level, we're taking 8th level of Paladin, getting an ability boost, and we'll use that to cap our strength at 20. At 19th level, we're going back to Rogue to finish the build. At 11th level Rogue, our sneak attack improves to 6d6, and we get Reliable Talent, allowing us to take 10 on a d20 roll instead of rolling the dice with skills you're proficient with. This should let you succeed on most checks, and when you're persona, you can use this to succeed on simple tasks that our persona should be able to do that we might be unskilled with. At 20th level, we finish with 12th level of Rogue for the last ability booster feat, and we'll be taking the Tough feat. Our hit points really need a boost, and our aura protection improves our Constitution saves, so we'll be better off with the feat than raising the Constitution.
This character is an absolutely brutal assassin, capable of moving in any circle, getting close to a target, and terminating them. It also has excellent manipulation abilities. It can serve not only as an assassin, but a spy or a con artist as well, whatever it takes to bring justice to its enemies. As we've been doing recently, I like to add a list of recommended magic items to our characters. Obviously, in most games, what items you actually get will depend on your DM. These are just ones we think would work especially well for this character. We give 1 very rare or legendary item, 2 rare and 3 uncommon items to level 20 characters. At very rare, using our first attunement slot, I like an interesting item from Eberron. Eberron is home to the original Changelings, and is a perfect setting for the type of campaign this character would shine in. The item is called Durm's Tentacle Whip. It is a +2 whip that is a symbiote, and when you attune to it, it grows into your body, and you can retract it into your arm or extend it as a bonus action. Great to have when disguised. It deals an extra d6 psychic damage on a hit, and on a roll of 20, the target is stunned until the end of its next turn. This whip does have disadvantage against aberrations, and it can't be removed from you, and you can't voluntarily remove it without a spell that removes curses. At rare, using our second attunement, we want a Shadow Brand tattoo. A tattoo is great because we have it even if we don't have access to our other items. It gives 60 feet of dark vision and advantage on stealth checks, and once per day you can use your reaction when taking damage to take half instead. While a little redundant with Uncanny Dodge, this will work on any damage, even things that Uncanny Dodge wouldn't apply to. Also at rare, we'll take a set of Breastplate +2 for our adventurer persona. At uncommon, using our last attunement, we want a Hat of Disguise. While we'll use our shape change to alter our appearance, this will also allow us to alter our clothing and equipment on the fly. We also want a Seeker Dart. It's a single-use item, sadly, but very useful. You can pick a target within 120 feet, and the dart will fly off and find it, even going around corners as long as there is a clear path, and it deals 1d4 piercing and 3d4 lightning damage. And a Wand of Secrets can be very useful, having 3 charges that can be used to locate secret doors and traps. It regains 1d3 charges each day.
We hope Project Cancelled liked this character as much as we do, and we hope that it inspires someone to try a type of D&D game that they might not have considered before. Next week, we'll be doing a request for Frener Ramuna Nentra. I'm sorry if I brutalized your name. And they want to see a Star Druid Life Cleric build, so please tune in for that. And as usual, if you have any questions, comments, or build requests, please leave them in the comment section below. We really enjoy hearing from you. So until next time, cheers.